So MONSTA X just dropped a music video for Alligator. Alligator. MONSTA X's last comeback was very, very, very impressive. So I'm hoping for all good stuff with this. They look, okay, just from looking at the thumbnail, there is water and there's fire and, are they wet? Are they wet? Okay. Also, if Edward Avila does not react to this as well, I'm going to be highly disappointed. Ha. There's always cars, isn't there? My brain is all the way up. It's pretty dark. Okay, the one word that stood out to me there was rough. Oh. Oh, I love the red. Red is just kind of like fury and like passion and like, Ooh, that's very different. I love that white. Boy. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so the main colors I'm seeing here are like, there was some like really cool like white backgrounds and there's really cool red. Which red could have something to do with blood. I don't know, just because I'm thinking of an alligator. It pulls back into my swamp. Ooh, some hope for one hole. How does he do that? I'm actually so confused as to how you can be so intense yet so adorable at the same time. Yes, I am. I am looks really good with the blonde hair. I'm not looking at the lyrics right now. I will check those out afterwards though. Oh! Okay, I study English and music, so seeing so much math on that board was kind of confusing, even just for a second. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting that they were burning. Okay, yeah. Ooh, that transition there between the two. The transition in the rap there between Juan and then I Am was so subtle and flawless and oof. Oh my god. It's so wet. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh my god, if they don't get some wins with this, oh my god, the water and the fire. I don't know why it reminds me of Free Willy, but I didn't mean it like that, but it reminded me of Free Willy because I remember that being in a movie with Free Willy and there was some water and then there was some fire with the water. I didn't mean it like Free Willy, but like yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna go check out the lyrics and watch this again and then get back to you in a second. Okay, if the lighting has changed, my apologies, but I've just spent the last like 20 minutes just like rewatching the music video and avidly searching up different meanings. So first things first, one of the first things that popped up that I had to like pause, like it flashed by so fast that if you weren't paying attention you wouldn't have seen it, but it was the 7 deadly sins. Particularly because there are 7 members and each of them could represent one of the 7 deadly sins. And I thought that they were like in the little rooms because they each have their own setting. And I really do think that somewhere, I just can't see it, somewhere each one of them has their own sin. I just can't figure out who's who, or if that's going to be developed in like another music video. It's not a very colorful music video, it's a very dark music video, but the colors that kept on popping up were red and green. Now green obviously for like the alligator, like the alligator is like green and like the swamp is like green, but it could also be to do with envy, which is one of the 7 deadly sins. And the other one, the other color that kept on coming up was red, which represents like passion, blood, love, seduction. Now the 7 deadly sins, I feel bad having to read this given that I went to a Catholic school all my life. 7 deadly sins, they change from like website to website. Again, feeling bad about having to read this. Been to 4 convents in my life, don't know what the 7 deadly sins are. They're pride, greed, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, and sloth. Sloth just means like avoiding work kind of thing. But lust is definitely a big one that I would see coming up a lot, because like this whole song was kind of about like, they were like an equal match. I'm pulled into your swamp and you're pulled into my swamp. They're like equals. They're equally looking for power and they're both fighters. And there's this like determination in it. So sloth wouldn't really come into this song because they're very like the lyrics of the song are very determined and it's a very aggressive song. So I wouldn't see sloth being something that's, you know, connected here. And I just thought it was very interesting, the little text that popped up that said these sins are prohibited by law. But when something is prohibited, it's always more tempting. Even though I can't figure out whose room is what, I definitely think that Wano's room was like a definite like lust room, because there was the bed, there was the apple, which the apple is obviously from Adam and Eve, and that's the first like encounter with like greed and lust and like desire. And then there definitely seemed to be like this desire for knowledge with the big room with the blue people with the blue people and all the like writing all over the walls. But I also thought that it was interesting that there's a lot of white imagery, particularly with Shonu. Like white equals like purity, which is like against the 7 deadly sins. There was a lot of roses. There were a lot of red roses, which red roses are obviously like connected with lust and love and passion and things like that. But there was also a yellow rose. I think it was Minhyuk, don't quote me on that, that was holding the yellow rose. And on a quick Google search of what a yellow rose means, it means protection against envious lovers, which I thought was very interesting. And then Jooheon, I always think this about him, but he was very like cheeky in his rap, because he was like smiling. He's so intense and then he just smiles and he's adorable. But he was like looking in this mirror, and I thought that could have something to do with vanity. And then Youngwon was like surrounded by clocks, which clocks represent like life and death and constant time and the constant movement of time. Obviously, we created clocks to understand how time goes by. Time is an illusion. I hate myself. Time is just something that we made up to understand how we live our life and how we're born and how we grow old and how we die. So it's just a very interesting imagery to me, so that he's covered in all these clocks. He's surrounded by all these clocks, which like represents life and death. Also thought it was really cool, but they were like burning all these like MONSTA X symbolism, like they were destroying themselves, like self-destruction, which is very easily tied with like 7 deadly sins, and like because that's counterproductive towards yourself. If you want to go to heaven, you do not want to commit the 7 deadly sins, and so it's this self-destruction, just self-destructive in nature. And then the mix between fire and water. The fire could represent bad and like hell, and then the water could represent good and like heaven. Funny enough, you can die with both of them. But it's just these two extreme contrasts, things that don't usually mix, and then it's just this fire sitting on top of this water, which I never understood that, how fire can burn on top of water. I didn't do well in science, but anyway. I study English. Their dance scenes were really incredible. I loved the dancing on water. I'd love to see like them dancing on water like live. Like with this song. I'd love to see them dancing on water live. It'd be, oh. amazing. I personally really loved this music video, and I really loved it because you can just go back and you can watch it a million times just to see everything you missed. And even after everything I've said there, I still feel like I missed so much, and I still feel like I shouldn't finish this video because I want to go and I want to learn more. But I was glad that like I went to Twitter and there are loads of people talking about The Sims, so I'm pretty sure you can go and like just scroll for hours and just like read what people are saying about this. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. Remember, you say genius, I think Minyungi. All my socials will be linked down below, and I will see you when I see you. Okay, bye!